The contract between these two then is this game of expansion or contraction. When you look around at your life right now, across body, being, balance, and business, what we see are a couple things. Your body is currently in the state it's in because of the power and the level of production that you have laid into the body domain. If your body is working and it's functional and it's fit and it gives you fire and fuel and excitement and desire to live every single day, both sexually, emotionally, spiritually, a weapon that allows you to live the warrior's way, when you have put power into production with your body, the result itself is prosperity. The abundant experience of your body is a body that works, that supports you, that's weaponized, that supports you to live day to day. This past weekend, my daughter got very excited about her new bike. I sat on a skateboard. I was very excited about my new skateboard. And literally for 11 hours between Saturday and Sunday, we rode bikes with her and her friends while I skateboarded along. For 11 hours. We figured anywhere between 2.5 to 3 miles per hour. This means this weekend I literally skateboarded almost 30 miles. 30 fucking miles. Did my body support me? Yes. And yet the problem is most men's production inside the body and most men's production inside of life is limited by their physical bodies. We were hanging out with guys that were 50, 55, trying to give me all these bullshit stories. Well, you know, it's because I'm 50, 55. I was like, well, how much you been working out? I haven't been working out. Well, dude, that's on you. I was like, don't tell me how I'm going to be at 50, because when I was 30, people were telling me how I was going to be at 40. And I've shattered all those fucking stories too. See, because I don't play like you. I play like me. And inside of me, what I understand is my power is channeled into my production, which is the doing of shit. My power is the potential of doing shit. My production is the doing of shit. My power is the potential. My production is the actual action. The doing necessary. Same thing goes inside of my being and my spirituality. Contraction is when somebody asks you a hard question and then you feel threatened. And inside that threatened state of experiencing a question that's challenging for you, inside of that you have contraction. You have contraction, and that contraction defaults to destruction. We begin then attempting to destroy other people whose opinions are different than ours. We say, well, listen, that's not how God is. That's not how God operates. That's not how life is. That's not what's going to happen when we die. And all of a sudden, inside of it, our own contraction comes about because our production is limited the minute somebody challenges us with a question that is different than what we anticipated. And then watch the default. I go from contraction to what? To destruction. And then that destruction links me up to this story of perfection. So my story of perfection drives me to find power through destruction. That destruction is ultimately a game of contraction. I hope you're starting to see the fucking connection here. My contraction, my destruction, my perfection. Or a different way, my progression inside of my creation leads to my expansion. Hold up. Let's come back and look at this again. My perfection story marries me up to a deliberate game in which I'm constantly destroying and criticizing. That criticism and that destruction energy leads me to a game of contraction in which I try to keep my life the same. No. Don't talk to me about anything new. I already know the game. This is exactly how this shit works out. I'm going to shame you, blame you, make you feel guilty for even challenging the way that I live. Here is the way it is. But what if that's not the way it is? What if the purpose of your life wasn't perfection? What if the purpose of your life was progression? And that progression led to deeper levels of creation because you weren't trying to get it right. You were just trying to grow. And inside of that creation, what you found was through your production, you expanded. So a lot of people look back and they say, well, dude, does this warrior's way work? Is this shit that you're talking about, does it work? I said, well, listen, I would never ask you to do anything I have not done, so why don't you go back online and look at shit from me 5 years ago? Why don't you go look at shit from me 10 years ago? And why don't you tell me if what you see is expansion or contraction? The crazy part was during my darkest days when I was asking these questions of myself, when I was challenging my religious belief systems, my economic belief systems, my marriage belief systems, my parenting belief systems, my physicality belief systems, I challenged everything. I let go that I had the right way to do it. All I knew was the way I was doing it was not working. There had to be a different way that would work. And so I hunted it down and I searched it down, and along that place what I found was a life that did work. A life that worked for me. A life that worked for me and my wife. A life that took my marriage and my family to a place that I did not even know was possible. A place I'd heard about, but I didn't know anybody who was actually about it. I knew a lot of people who knew Scripture. I knew a lot of people who could quote me the right things. I knew a lot of people who were very smart, intelligent beings. I knew a lot of men who were one, maybe two-dimensional men preaching to me about the way to pull this off. But at the end of the day, I didn't know any man who had actually begun to live the plan called true expansion, which is waking up every single day and not being okay with how they played yesterday, knowing that today is a new day, and inside of today, my purpose is to grow. My purpose is expansion. The purpose of my production is expansion.